If you're chronically online and have had any interest in being a content creator, then you've probably stumbled upon tons of social media strategists like myself trying to tell you how to go viral. However, the tea is that most of these people are just projecting their experiences onto you, and going viral is not a one-size-fits-all. They also have no track record of being able to bring results to anybody else outside of themselves consistently. Now, I am not going to bore you with my very long portfolio of bringing results to clients. Instead, I decided to go straight to the source and analyze over 200 viral Instagram Reels to see what they have in common. And I noticed 5 common things that are making Instagram Reels go viral that I'm going to be sharing with you today. But before we get into my findings, I would really love to encourage you to like and subscribe to the channel because I'm interested in sharing both the science and the art behind becoming a content creator. While I do talk about virality, I also understand that virality is really a small component of what it takes to have a long-lasting presence online. And I have helped over 500 creators and business owners build meaningful online presences, all organically. So shall we spill the tea? Good God, who wrote this script? Oh yeah, it was me. Now, I had 2 criteria for each video that I analyzed. 1, it had to have over 1 million views, and 2, the views had to be very abnormal in comparison to that content creator's other content. Because of course, if you're somebody that has 15 million followers, then getting 1 million views may not be that crazy. The first thing that I found with these Instagram Reels is something we probably all heard before but don't think critically enough about. Pretty much every single one of the Reels that I analyzed had this very thing in common. They captured your attention immediately. Most of us refer to this concept as crafting a hook. And traditionally, when we think of a hook, we think of some jaw-dropping sentence that's going to stop people immediately in their tracks. But what I noticed about these reels in particular is that they did a much better job showing the value rather than telling people the value. When you try to say something so jaw-dropping in the beginning of your videos, it can actually be off-putting and have the opposite effect of what you want, because viewers have become a lot smarter and they know that this one thing probably didn't change your life. And so over-dramatizing what's in your video is going to feel phony. It's not going to feel authentic, so people are likely going to scroll away. A lot of the best creators now are using visual hooks. This could mean creating a sense of urgency, such as running in the beginning of your videos, or it can be appealing to as many senses as you can. Like, let's say you're a baker and you want to frost a cake. That would be something that appeals to taste and smell. It could be having a really creative way that you frame your video, so playing around with different angles. And some people even do something totally random in the beginning of their videos that has nothing to do with what the video is about at all, but it establishes their personality. Like that. Point being, people can't rely on you telling them that your video is going to be valuable because y'all be lying. So they rely on creators to show that the video is going to be valuable. So imagine you're going through Target, you're going through the beauty aisle, and you want a new moisturizer. You don't know what moisturizer you're going to get. You're just kind of scrolling through, seeing what you like. There's a ton of moisturizers in that aisle. So what is going to make you pick one over the other? It's not going to be the benefits of the product. It's not going to be the ingredients of the product. It's going to be how that product is visually presented. Whether it's the packaging that jumps out at you more than the other products, or the product's more prominently positioned on the shelf. And once you've picked that product off the shelf, then maybe you'll look at the ingredients. Then maybe you'll look at reviews. Then maybe you'll look at the benefits of that moisturizer. But if the product had never visually jumped out at you, you would have never gotten far enough to see if the product was good. And your content's the same way. There's a lot of people giving value. Most of you probably have something interesting or valuable to say in your videos, but people never get there because you haven't packaged it in a way that's interesting for someone to want to pick up off the shelf. Watch time is one of the key indicators that dictates how well a video is going to perform on pretty much any video platform. But in a world where we have infinite amount of content to scroll through, it is much harder to get people to pay attention to one singular video for an extended period of time. On top of visual appeal, creators are also making sure that they give an incentive for somebody to watch the video all the way through at the beginning of their videos. This could mean stating what the audience is going to get by the end of the video.
I heard you wanted to know how to do this edit.
This could mean revealing the moment right before the climax of the video. Or it could mean setting stakes in your video.
Try to break this board on my head.
An example of setting the stakes would be, if I can't make $500 from my business by the end of the day, I have to go back to school and get my degree. This would make a viewer want to watch all the way through to see if they accomplish that goal because the stakes are high. People are picky and they don't want to stick around to find out if a video is interesting enough, so you need to establish why it's interesting enough from the very beginning. One of the best ways to increase your reach on Instagram is by creating shareable content. In fact, even the CEO of Instagram has come out and said that shares are one of the key performance metrics that you should pay attention to when monitoring the performance of a video.
Some advice. One of the most important signals we use in ranking is sends per reach. So out of all the people who saw your reel or your photo, how many of them sent it to a friend in a DM?
Most of the time, people share content that they feel represents them or somebody that they know. The two most popular styles of shareable content on Instagram historically are B-roll content and skits. B-roll content is very low effort. It just involves you taking a clip of something. It literally could be anything. Just try to make it visually interesting and putting text that the audience can see themselves in on that video. This type of content is typically very short, and a lot of creators will try to make it so that you can't read the entire text on the screen before the video replays. And this tells the algorithm that a lot of people are replaying the video, which gives it a better chance at being boosted. But it is a balancing act because you don't want to have so much text on the screen that nobody wants to read it, and you also don't want to post like a 1-second video. I have seen people have success with 1-second videos that play on loop and get a ton of views, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's really helping you build real impact. Now, skits are a video style where one or more people will act out a scenario in their content.
Bro, did you hear the news that the glaze on the donuts from Krispy Kreme isn't glazed, but it's in fact Diddy Happy Juice?
This is actually the content style that I used on one of my recent clients that just offboarded. She had posted over 5,000 Instagram posts and was struggling to break 100 views on an Instagram reel. So we found that she really enjoyed making skits, and we found that they were performing better with her audience. And within a month, she had her first viral video that now has over 1 million views, and is consistently getting at least 4 figures, oftentimes 5-figure views on every video ever since. Now, both B-roll content and skits decenter the creator and allows anybody to see themselves in the content. You can swap out that creator and put yourself in it, which is what makes it shareable. And that actually brings me to the next thing that I found in these 200 viral Instagram reels. Traditionally, content creators have always been told that speaking directly to your audience is the best way to build a strong relationship with them. And while I still believe that there is truth to that, a lot of creators now are actually creating what I've been calling fly-on-the-wall content.
Sadly and with regret, the undergraduate dean's office is withdrawing you from the Carroll School of Management.
The best thing to compare this style of content to would be like reality TV, where the audience isn't being targeted with whatever you're trying to say in the video. They get to be a fly on the wall listening in on a conversation. So we were just talking about skits, and skits are a great example of fly on the wall content. You'll also see a lot of podcasters pretending like they're talking to somebody else even if they're not, so that it doesn't look like the audience is being targeted. I've actually had this theory for a while now, and I posted a TikTok video on it months ago, and it got hundreds of thousands of views and thousands of comments of people agreeing that they love content where they are not being directly spoken to. It gives the viewer more autonomy and allows them to feel like they can relax and just watch this content without feeling like there's something they're going to be asked to do. Now again, talking to the camera will always be effective, but the way we do it now I think is different. You have to be really good at coming off as casual. You have to be really good at just speaking in the way that you would speak to a friend. This is oftentimes referred to as the FaceTime effect, but let's be real, most people freeze up when they have to talk directly to the camera. So I think this is a great strategy or a great finding that people who are maybe afraid to talk directly to the camera can implement so that they can still put out great content while they work on developing their speaking skills. Creating good content is hard. Having a viral video is really difficult, but building a dedicated community is like pulling teeth. Neither Instagram or TikTok inherently help you build a real community online. They're just interested in showing content that's keeping people on the app the longest amount of time. They don't care whether you have 2.5 million followers or 100 followers. Oftentimes, that's why I recommend making sure you have an email list or a podcast or a YouTube channel, something that really allows you to build a loyal fan base. You can have a viral video and then your next video only get a few hundred views. Making good content just isn't enough anymore. You need to make content that keeps people coming back for more. And one of the best ways to do this is to create a signature series or a familiar format. There are creators in almost any industry that are taking advantage of familiar formats and signature series to build their audience quickly.
Day 51 of doing something fun after work.
Starting 75 soft today, and I'm super excited about it.
You ever had a sudden urge to get your shit together at 3 a.m.?
I myself recently started a series that I'm posting on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts where I'm trying to get 100,000 Instagram followers in 6 months.
Day 5 of growing 100,000 followers in 6 months.
Which, like, feel free to follow me on Instagram or whatever. Now, why does this work? Well, it allows your audience to know what they can expect from your content. People like what's familiar, so even if I really loved one of your videos, if I go to your profile and see that you don't post a lot of content like that and you just kind of post post things all over the place, even if the content's good, that's gonna stop me from following you. However, when you have a familiar format or you have a signature series that people can follow along to that's working toward a specific goal, then that gives people a reason to go to your page and binge watch your content and get excited for when you post your next piece of content. Now, before you go running off to create a signature series or a familiar format, it's not enough just to say, oh, day one of doing this. It's gotta have some substance, okay? The series needs to demonstrate a journey that an audience would actually want to follow along with. So my series, for example, where I'm on this mission to grow 100,000 followers on Instagram in 6 months, I hope that there's a few things that people get out of that. I hope it helps hold them accountable to make sure that they're posting their content consistently. I hope it gives them real insight on what the behind the scenes of posting content every day, putting effort toward creating intentional content and working toward getting 100,000 followers actually looks like. And because I'm a social media strategy who has a track record of bringing results for people in various industries, I'm hoping that they'll enjoy the expertise that I provide as I work toward building my own platform. Series are also great because most people talk about things after they've already done it. And this can create a warped perception because when you've already succeeded in something, you tend to paint it like it was just this perfect picture. Even if you try to be transparent about, maybe where something went wrong, it often comes out as everything went perfect for me and I got there and I knew even when things were wrong that I was going to get there. When in reality, that's not really realistic. By me showing in real time everything that I'm doing to get to this 100,000 follower goal, you're going to see in real time the mistakes I'm making. You're going to see my thought process through the journey. You're going to see whether or not I actually reach my goal. I can't guarantee I'm going to get 100,000 followers in 6 months, so it's fun to see whether or not I actually achieve it. And if I do, that's going to help you believe that it's possible for you too. It goes back to my point about setting the stakes. I have a lot to gain from doing this series, which is I could hit my goal and a lot of people are going to be inspired by that, but I could also embarrass myself on a public platform and see little to no results at all. What has been true forever in social media is that people want to feel like they're following a real human being. Stop trying to always be the expert. And this is something I've struggled with in the past. I always think that I need to be educating or giving something, but sometimes the value in your videos is entertainment. Sometimes the value in your videos is your audience getting to see you in real time work towards something and root for you along the way. You don't always have to know everything. Nobody knows everything all the time. It's okay to say, I don't know, or it's okay to say, hey, I'm always studying, I'm always learning. If anything, if I was working with a coach, I would want to know that they're always working to expand their education, they're always working to perfect their craft, and that they're practicing what they preach. Which one of these things are you most excited to implement into your content? I personally am having so much fun posting again, even though it's a lot more effort, even though it's taking me a lot more time to edit and film. I am feeling so creatively inspired. I'm having so much fun with content again. My creative spark is live and well. And if you need help implementing any of the things that I talked about into your own social media strategy, you can check out my one-on-one coaching in the description box below. If you got a lot of value from this video, it would mean so much to me if you could like it and then hit that subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified about new uploads. My YouTube channel is starting to actually see growth, which I did not expect. I expected I was going to invest at least 3 months of seeing almost nothing before I saw even the slightest bit of success. But just in the last 2.5 weeks, we've gained 100 subscribers. We're seeing views start to increase, going from getting 200 to 300 views per video to now 600 to 800 views per video. And I'm very humbled that you guys are enjoying my content, and I hope to continue to create content that you guys find really valuable. Good luck to all of my content creators and business owners. I'm always rooting for you, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.